Welcome to the last company-wide sales meeting of 2023 and the fourth of our four-part series, our business planning series called The Power of One More. At this point, guys, we have covered the mindset needed to make 2024 the best year. We've covered the structure. We have planned it all out. You know exactly what lead sources you need to have. And today, we are going to have a very special guest talking to us just about the power of words. Guys, I'm telling you what, this man is an absolute wordsmith. Todd has known Mr. Pipes for well over a decade. I had a chance to meet Bill a few years ago, but today we all recognize him as one of the top training coach and trainers for three different #1 real estate agent companies. One company, two companies, three companies, still one of the absolute best. Today, we know him as the $25 million Bill, or 25 mil Bill, the Bill Pipes 3.0. Please, everybody, join me in welcoming the one and only Bill Pipes.
Thanks, Jeff. Guys, hear me? Yes. I hope. Oh, sheesh, guy. I almost said the S word there at the very beginning. I gotta get rapport with you guys first. I'm super pumped. I'm Todd and I have been in conversation, Jeff, about me coming in and doing being able to do something like this for probably as long as we've actually known each other, right? And so for Shawnee, for me, this is exciting, Mike, because I get the chance to be able to pour into you guys for the next hour and a half, and really, I guess, cap off the year, right? And talk about 2024 and you know, obviously it's interesting, Jeff, because I'm sort of known as that guy when it comes to skills, right? Like people come to my events, they want to learn skills, they want to learn words. There's power in language. Language creates reality. And we're gonna dive a little bit into that here today. But what a lot of people don't know is I've helped 34 people, Jeff. I say help. I've been in the foxhole with them as they've crossed over that $1 million mark for the very first time in real estate, which is so exciting, for me. Like next to my kids, I would tell you guys, it's the thing I'm the most proud of, right? Are those amazing 34 individuals. And over the course of, I'd say the last 2 or 3 years, guys, I've really had a commitment to codify and synthesize how those guys have done it. Because my belief is this: if one person can do it, another person can do it, right? If they have the right strategy, if they have the right system, if they have the right skills, i.e. what conversations they're having, and also they're disciplined enough, right? So, but as we get started here, guys, I want to start off by doing this. Congratulations. This year, how would you, in a word, I want you to write down the word in your head, if we're going to talk about language, the word in your head that describes 2023 for you. No bullshit, total authenticity and transparency. Just write down the word that describes 2023 for me is this, and just write it down. And then I want you guys in the chat, or even I'll call on a couple of you to unmute yourself and tell me what your word ultimately is. So do you have your word for 2023? What was 2023 in the chat, guys? Chat it up. What was 2023 in a word for you? Let's look at this. Challenging, healthy, growth. I love it. It sucked. Opportunity, yes. Actually, I'm going to move this over here so it doesn't interfere with me being able to see you guys. I'd say challenging has come up a lot. Hey guys, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This was a different market for 2023, wasn't it, guys? We had 8 or 9 months where interest rate, let's get clear. The Fed had 8 interest rate hikes over the course of the last, basically 12 months. There is no denying, Mike, that has an impact on the real estate market, right? Okay, so I have, Roseanne, stayed away from calling it a tough market because, again, language creates reality. If I say it's tough, then I just notice all the ways that it's tough. But this market has required a lot of us of agents. Have you guys had to work your butt off, yes or no, in 2023? Yes. Okay. Look, do me a favor, look at your rear end and go, and I still got some booty to work off, right? Because you guys still got some booty to work off. Then here's the good news. And you guys will see this today, you'll experience it. I always make decisions, and please, I'd like you to write this down. Make decisions on data, not drama. That we make decisions on data, not drama. And has 2023 had some drama in it? Yes or no? From the media, from the, from our government. There's been a boatload of drama. And unfortunately, that's seeped in. How many of you guys have noticed that drama seeping into buyers' perception, seeping into sellers' actions and activities, seeping in even to us as real estate agents? How many of you guys have been caught up in the drama at least one time over the course of the last 12 months? Yes or no? I have. Shit, guys, right? And so the data right now, and I want to give you some good news. The good news is this: we are no longer going into the woods, right? We have turned around on the path, and this market is walking out of the woods. Does that make sense? Meaning we have hit, Amy, the toughest part of the market, and we are now moving away from it. What have you guys noticed the last two? Yeah, dude, like I think we all need to clap and do yes and shaka bra or whatever the hell you want to do to be able to just go, hell yes, right? What's happened the last 2 weeks, guys? What's taken place? Someone just tell me in the chat or unmute yourself. What has occurred over the course of the last 14 to 20 days in relationship to real estate? Now, I'm not talking about the damn lawsuits and all that other stuff, right? That's just going to be a change in the way that we actually do commissions. So put that aside, but what's happened that's been positive, that's been beneficial for us over the course of the last 20 days, guys? You can unmute yourself, by the way. Rates have not just dropped a little, they have dropped substantially, okay? We went from an 8.06, write this down, 8.06 high on interest rates. Now, it didn't close the day out on that, but that was the highest that I saw it go on a 30-year fix. 8.06, we dropped down to 7.36. And now, as of today, come on, real estate gods, give me some good news. We are holding at about 7.45 with a positive trend on mortgage-backed securities, which means there's a high probability. Oh, it's even now a significantly stronger chance that rates will come down again today, right? We'll see probably a 5 to 20 point basis point drop today. We are now in the sub 7.5 interest rate category, and we are attacking the sub 7%. Anyone besides myself flipping excited about that? Yes or no? Oh my gosh, guys. I'm like, hell yes, right? I'm going to quote a 1970s, 1980s song, which was a horrible song, but it's stuck in my head with this. I made it through the rain. Or I don't even know who the artist is, but if you're a millennial, God bless you. You never have to hear that song. If you're my age, you had to hear that shit over and over again. But we have made it through the most challenging part of this market. Now, will there be new challenges? The answer is yes. Okay. And here's what I want you to write down for me, please, as we get started. Let's write a couple of things down, because I know that this is a planning call. I know that you guys are working on business plans. I know that you've got a lot of focus around that, right? And you should be codifying and synthesizing that. And I want you to get excited. So write down 2024 equals BYE, best year ever. Everything is shaping up, my friends, for 2024, Johns, to be your best year ever. The market is ripe for it, okay? You guys are all like in the Mountain West region, right? Is that like primarily where everybody is, or where are we sprinkled around, guys?
Well, it was April 30th. You could probably have said that, but May 1, we brought in some great friends from the Midwest in Des Moines. So
nice.
We're all
what's
we're
up,
all
Iowa?
over the place now, Bill.
Yeah. So for all my Mountain West friends, check this out. Here comes California. Here comes frickin' Portland. Here comes Seattle. You guys remember that from 2021, 2022, etc.? Okay. Hey, Boise, strap back in, right? I know your market's been really tough, but we're going to rebound back, right? This market is going to be a rebound market in 2024. It has the ability to be your best year ever. Underneath that, also write down 2024 looks like 2022. Oh, damn, Gina, here we go. 2024 is going to look a lot like 2022. Why is that? Well, I'm going to share with you guys today some data in a little bit that's going to be able to actually outline rates are like, there's a projection right now. Shit, I'll just show it to you guys. Hopefully I got share screen capability. Give me 1 second. Ah, there it is. The narrative right now is beginning to change from the media. Has anyone heard that? Has anyone heard the media begin to talk positively? They're slowly beginning to do it. By the way, guys, this is bananas, Rachel. When rates had their biggest drop, I just want you to understand something about like the media, okay? What their job is. Their job is to scare the public, to get them to watch so they can sell marketing dollars, right? Honestly, probably about 60% of CNN, Fox Business, MSNBC, CNBC, not CNBC. It's actually like a pretty good data-driven site. But all the rest of them, 60% of their airtime is advertising. Have you guys noticed that? If you ever watch the news, 60 to 70% is ads, and all that shit, right? So their job is to scare the public. But here's what I've noticed. For this market to turn around, guys, there's 4 things that need to take place. And we're in the midst of this. Number 1, write this down. We needed inflation to improve. Did it do that? Yes or no? Has it done that? 100% yes. Okay, 100% yes. We are at like a 3% CPI index, or 3 on the CPI index. We were up as high as 8. The Fed wants to see 2. We are basically out of the woods on that, the work that the Fed has done. So we needed number 1 for inflation to improve. By the way, anyone noticing it at the gas pump? Have prices gotten a little bit better?
Mhm.
Yeah, Shawnee, like we're not quite there, but it's definitely better at this point, right? Okay. Second thing that we needed to see take place. This is important for you to understand because I want to paint a picture for 2024 so that you realize it's going to be a great year, but you're going to need to work even more. Number 2, the second thing that we need to have happen is for the Fed to basically stop jerking around with rates, okay? To stop raising rates. Well, they pretty much, hey, Conklin, great to see you, dude. I've missed you, brother. Like, it's good to see your smiling face, bro. Like, I love you, man. And I'm just so proud of everything that you guys have created here. It's amazing. So number 2, we needed for the Fed to stop raising rates, right? Well, they basically came out in the last Fed meeting. They said, we think we're done. Then they came back and they said, well, maybe we're not. And then all of a sudden CPI came out and they said, we are done, right? That was number 2. Okay. Number 3, we needed mortgage rates to start to come down. Instead of going up, we needed to see them come down. We're seeing that right now. Mark my words. I believe that sometime in January, based upon all the economic data that I have and the high-level economists that I'm good buddies with, that we talk all the time, we're going to see not 6%, but in the 6s, 6.8, 6.9, 6.75 interest rates in January, guys. Okay. And we all know what's going to happen then. When we drop below 7% interest rates, guys, what's going to happen? Someone just unmute themselves and tell me what's going to happen.
I mean, the lights are going to turn back on, Bill. You know that.
Yeah, shadow demand. Shadow demand. All those buyers that are out there that got scared of the market because of rates going up, the ones that financially got knocked out of the market, right? There's a different mentality when you're going from 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 than when you're going from 8 to 7 and 7 to 6. You're going to see a very aggressive movement as we get into the 6% because people are going to go, oh my gosh, I want to take advantage of this. I don't know how long it's going to last. And our responsibility, one of the skills I'm going to talk to you about, is to control the narrative and to be able to push people forward towards that. Okay. All right. So we needed number 3, we needed rates to come down, and they're doing that. Here's the 4th. Here's the big piece. Anyone know what number 4 is? Take a guess, take a stab. All the rest of this is data driven. Number 4 is psychologically driven. We need the media to start talking about the market return. We need the media to get on board. Now, Todd, this was amazing to me. When rates dropped, the largest percentage point drop that we've seen in a decade, that happened from October the 20th all the way up until the November 7th Fed meeting, I said, oh man, I got to go to CNN. I got to go to Fox. I got to go to Fox Business. I got to go to CNBC. Now, I don't like watching the news, but I watch it for about 30 minutes a day for one reason: to see what the public is hearing. Does that make sense? I want to understand what the sentiment that they're being fed. All right. Guess how many times that the media outlets talked about this historic drop in rates? 0. Not one time. Now, do you think they would have been heralding that drum and banging it really hard if we went up by almost 70 basis points? 100%. It would have been the end of the world. So I didn't see anything until this Tuesday. And on Tuesday, this came out. Can you guys see that right there?
Yep.
I'll make it a little bit bigger. Traders now expect the Fed could start cutting rates, as this is on Market Watch, as soon as March. Not only are traders seeing a higher likelihood of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates up to 5 times in 2024. Hello, right? They now expect the first cut could arrive as soon as March, almost exactly 2 years after the Fed started its most aggressive rate hiking cycle since the 1980s. According to CME Group, there's a trend, and I'm going to introduce you guys to some of the data sets that I have. CME is one of them that I've used for years that shows what rates are going to do. But by the way, at this time, it said the Fed arriving in March have risen to nearly 27%. That's now up to 35% for March, guys. Okay, so it's moving in the right direction following the issuance, etc. Okay, now we should be celebrating that. We should be excited about that. We should be over the moon. However, we should also be aware that there's a specific challenge that's going to come with this. So anyone, what's the underbelly of this beast as rates go down? What's going to happen, guys?
Inventory.
Okay, more activity, more buyers. Inventory is going to remain historically low because we have so many people in that sub 4% interest rate category. And until we get into the 5% interest rates, pay attention, guys, everyone listen, until we get into the 5% interest rate category, which we'll get to next year, those sellers that are sub 4% can't justify the move. Does that make sense? So we're going to have buyers experiencing one type of market and sellers experiencing another. Sellers are going to be the have to move situations, right? Where it's, I have to move because of a death. I have to move because of a divorce. I have to move because of a birth. I have to move because of a marriage, right? I have to move because of a job transfer. And buyers that are going to become more active because of the interest rates. That's the environment and the landscape that we're going to see. So really what's happening, guys, is we're going to be, trading the challenge of getting people off the fence to trading the challenge of the new challenge, which is getting them to write up great offers because it's going to be a very competitive market. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Right. But are you guys excited? How many of you guys are like, I don't know, Bill, man. Like I was until you said that last little bit. But towards the end of the year, we'll probably see inventory begin to open up just a little bit. Builders are actively building right now. All that stuff is working in our favor. Any questions on that as we get started? I wanted to paint that picture for you guys for 2024. So like, I want this to be a little bit of open dialogue as well too. So are there any questions or comments or clarification that you guys want to have around that?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, real quick. You mentioned trading challenges. What are we trading there again?
We're trading the challenge of trying to get buyers to recognize it's a good time to buy and get off the fence. To now the new challenge is writing up strong offers and having buyers recognize that they're gonna be in competitive situations and that what the media is telling them is not accurate. We're gonna need to actually control the narrative for them. That's the challenge that we have. Okay.
Thank you.
And eventually, as rates continue to come down, the market will begin doing a lot of the heavy lifting of the sales process because people will start again to be able to see the robustness, and the media will start that fourth piece of the media starting to herald the return of the market will begin to be our silent sales partner. Does that make sense, guys? But it's not there yet, right? So that means we're in this weird shoulder market where the auspice is on us to create a new narrative to help them understand that buyers have a window of opportunity. Right now, my friends, December, January, and February is a sweet spot. It is the perfect storm for a buyer right now. Rates are coming down. We haven't seen that massive movement of the shadow demand back into the market. So I'm with everyone, Todd, that I'm working with, Rachel. I'm like, dude, get on the phone, get on the horn. Here are the scripts. Here are the dialogues. Have the call. Get people off the fence. Use every follow-up call as an opportunity to educate people. Because if they educate them enough, they're going to make more intelligent decisions. Okay. So, and I'm going to give that all to you today and also give you guys some additional scripts as well too around that. Sound good, my friends? Okay. Hey, Todd, I'm going to give you guys this thing called the Warren Buffett close. Oh shit, dude. It is like money, right? I can't wait to share it with you guys because it is so damn strong. Okay. So, I'm going to skip over like introducing myself. Hopefully all of you guys, have some concept of who it is that I am. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull this up really quick. Yep. You should be able, hold on. I know it's in a small vantage point right now. There we go. Is that full screen for you guys? Can you see that? No, it is not. So I'm going to stop screen share and we will do this again.
Phil, I'm a little disappointed you got the hat on with that hair. Come on, man. You gotta rock it.
Dude, 52
yes,
years old.
Let's go.
52 years old. And I got to represent my G3, man.
That's a good point. Good point.
By the way, my business is called G3 Coaching, guys. And for people always ask, like, what the hell does that mean? It means grit, grin, and grow. Grit, grin, and grow. That we got to be gritty in this market. We got to be gritty in real estate. We got to smile, grin when you do it, right? Because, like, look, we're in the best country of the world. You're with one of the best company and organizations that I know of. And on top of that, we're going into a market that is absolutely going to be fantastic. You better be smiling or I'm going to punch you in the throat, right? Lovingly, that is. I'll lovingly punch you in the throat. All right. So, and then you do all of that and you will grow, my friends. Like your business will grow. You'll grow emotionally, spiritually, financially across the board. So, my friends, this is, I got to tell you, this right here, tell me if you can see this.
Yep.
Okay. Is that full screen or is it like in my view?
You're good.
Yep.
Yay, I got it right. This is crazy, guys. 2022, the average agent income was, even in the market that we're in, 2022 was a pretty robust market, right, guys? Okay. Average agent earned $44,000, $44,813. Is that crazy? $44,813. I saw that, Jamie, and I threw up in my mouth. I'm like, that is just embarrassing for us as an industry. Now, let me put this in perspective for you guys. If you're a McDonald's worker and you were in California as of May 8th, 2023 this year, the average annual pay for the McDonald's restaurant jobs category in California was $42,105 a year. That's $20.24 per hour, $20.24 per hour. A real estate agent on average is earning $21 per hour. Is that crazy? Like, you're better off for, if you're most real estate agents, going and getting a job at McDonald's. I mean, at least you get freaking a set schedule. You don't have to work weekends, right? So for me, I'm like this, guys, like, go get a real job to the industry. Like, I honestly think that those individuals who are in that camp, they need to get the hell out of the way and make room for you guys. Does that make sense? Okay. Like, they're wasting time. They're making our job that much more challenging. And honestly, Jeff, for me, I think real estate, and I'll share this with you here in a second, I think real estate should always be played for 7 figures, guys. And I want you to write that down. Real estate should be played for 7 figures. There's no reason if you're, and look, oh shit, I fell short of the 7 figures and I hit 500,000. Oh darn, that doesn't suck. Or I hit 6 or 7. But if you aren't going for that level, and I may lose some of you guys by saying this, if you're not going for 7 figures, why the hell did you get in this industry in the first place? Because it is a 7-figure industry. Does that make sense, guys? Now, I get it that some of you guys are moms or dads and whatever, and you got competing, time constraints. But if you're not going to go for 7, go for 3 or 4 and do it half time. Does that make sense, guys? Spend more time with your family. But still, it's like a 7-figure sort of game. Now, let's talk recession, my friends. We're in a little bit of a recession. We've seen it. The numbers are there. And I want you to actually celebrate this, because when I look at a recession, guys, I get really excited because it represents opportunity. The biggie, the big financial adjustment, the financial crisis of 2008. This is crazy, Todd. We saw, Jeff, a 17% increase in the number of millionaires in the United States of America. We did not go backwards, Twin Falls, we went forward, right? There were more people that actually became millionaires during that time than in normal years. And the existing millionaires' net worth, guys, went up by 19%. Okay, they had that increase in terms of their net worth, right? So if anything, off markets give us opportunity. Does that make sense? Okay. So I think you got this great opportunity. I know you got this great opportunity. And here's what I want everyone to say. With a big smile on your face, I want you guys to point at yourself. Twin Falls, I want you to look at each other in the room. CB Altoona, I want you to do the same thing for the 2 guys. Look at each other and go, baby, I was made for this market on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baby, I was made for this market. Now, understand, that's right, Rachel, whoop, whoop, right? So can I get a hell yes? Now, be prepared, because this is what you're going to see, even with this market shifting and turning. 60,000 agents. This was as of June or July. I don't have the current numbers, but I can give you as of June or July. There were 60,000 agents that had left the business in 2023. That means every 5 minutes and 29 seconds, you had an agent that was failing and getting out of the business. You have NAR coming out with stats that say 30% of the existing agents will be out of the business in the next 24 to 30 months. My friends, what do you experience when you look at that? Do you know where my head goes? Shit, man, I'd love to choose who they were. Right? I love to just to be able to walk in and go, eeny, meeny, miny, you're gone. And you just go to open houses, and someone that runs a shitty open house as you're going through it, you go, yep, you're the 33%. See you later. It's been 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Peace out. Bye. Right? But see, all of these individuals, okay, again, just want to remind you, you're made for this market. All these individuals, they're getting out of the business for 3 reasons. Okay? And I want you to write these 3 words down. They don't have the skills, they don't have the right disciplines, and they're not executing on the right plan. They don't have the right strategies. Does that make sense, guys? Skills, standards, or disciplines, and plan. That's the only reason you should be afraid of this market. Does that make sense, guys? The only reason you should be afraid is if your skills are shitty, if your discipline is weak, and if you're not strategic in your approach and following a plan, okay? And if you are a little bit nervous as you hear me say this, right on, level the F up. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, let that fear be the thing that pushes you, the pain, that concern to make the changes, okay? So, by the way, Todd, Jeff, any of the leadership, anything that you want to say around that?
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
25 mil bill.
What's up, baby? Yes.
Yeah, no, I think this is awesome. We've been talking about skills. Obviously, Bill is the 4th of our business planning series, The Power of One More. And this is capping it off. So let's go.
So if we know that real estate should be played at 7 figures, here's my question. How many of you guys believe that real estate should and could and can be played at 7 figures, Metro? How many of you guys believe that? That if you like, how many of you believe that if you buckled down for the next 36 months, surrendered to a discipline and process, that you could knock on the door of 7 figures? How many of you guys, like, honestly, at your core, believe that if you really got at it, right, you could do 7 figures? Raise your hand. So by the end of the call here today, I want to notice some hands. Do me a favor. Hey, Metro, grab each other's freaking hands and put it up in the air for your person that you're sitting next to. Grab their hand and put their damn hands up in the air. Fuck yes. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Heck yes. Heck yes. Right. So here's the thing I want you to think about. If you're not earning that, if you don't believe it, it's never the market. It's always you. It's you're just simply not executing on the things that you need to. And what I teach, Todd, this right here. If you're going to go to 7 figures, you got to have the right skills. And skills are nothing more than conversations and dialogues and techniques to create rapport and move people forward, educate them. To create rapport, skills is nothing more than conversations, dialogues, techniques to create rapport, connect with people, educate them, move them forward. You got to have the right standards. Personal standards for yourself. Standards are nothing more, guys, than a set of disciplines, rituals, and routines. A set of disciplines, rituals, and routines that align with your goal and are a non-negotiable. A set of disciplines, rituals, and routines that align with your goal and are non-negotiable. Okay, they can vary depending upon what your goal is. Obviously, hey guys, look, I'm growing a $25 million coaching company. That's my goal. I'm also have a goal that I'm gonna, in the next 9.5 years, there will be 1,000 real estate agents that we have personally coached with my organization that break the $1 million mark, okay, on our watch in our foxhole while we're working with them. That requires a high level of standards for myself, both personally and professionally. Does that make sense, guys? So what you'll notice is you'll experience the higher your goal, the stricter the standards are. Can you guys see that? Okay. The lower the goal, the more variance and freedom that you ultimately have to do it or not do it. Okay. Okay. And then strategy is nothing more than systems and processes and people. Systems, processes, and people. Systems, processes, and people that increase your efficiency, meaning I get more done, And my effectiveness, meaning I produce more. Efficiency, meaning I get more done in the time that I have. And effectiveness, meaning I produce higher level results. When you just focus on these three things, then you get to be part of this. These are the 34 agents that are breaking over $1 million in GCI. And by the end of the time that I have with you here today, everyone say this, my number one job today is not to sell you on me, not to sell you on coaching, not to sell you on anything, but to sell you on, damn it, that you could earn 7 figures if you really got at it. And it would fundamentally change your life, the lives of your family. And you can do it in a manner where you still have a 7-figure life. Does that make sense, guys? That you have this insane 7-figure business that's funding this 7-figure life. Everyone point at yourself, and Metro and CB Altona and Twin Falls point at each other and just go, baby, I'm next on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baby, I am next. That was pathetic. Do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Twin Falls, I want to see you go off. Baby, I'm next. Now,
Next.
there we go. So here's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm going to share with you those 34 people that have earned $1 million in the last couple of years of me working with them. There are 8 traits. I finally sat down, Todd, and said, what do they all have in common? They were in different parts of the country. They had somewhat different models in terms of lead sources. Okay. They were older, younger, male, female, whatever, right? They all had differences, but there were some similarities that were non-deniable. You could not deny it. Number one, they had and we're gonna unpack this during the time that I got with you guys today. Does that sound good? We're gonna go through all of these, and then what happens, Rach, is you get to choose which one you want to work on first. And then Shawnee, you get to choose the next one after that. And then Casey, you get to go, I think I'm gonna choose the next one. This year, if all you did, my friends, because success leaves clues. Do you guys get that? And if you pay attention to the people that are ahead of the path on you and what got them there, if you just start to adopt their behaviors and their characteristics, then your income will begin to align to theirs. Can you guys see that? Yes or no? Okay. Listen, if I wanted to be a great golfer, I'd hang out with Tiger Woods when he was winning. If I wanted to be a great skier, I'm going to date myself right now. See if any of you guys can pick up on and remember who this person was. Does anyone remember a guy by the name of Glenn Plake? This is like old school, fucking 1990s, big mohawk, right? Like Glenn Plake, Scott Thompson, they were my heroes, right? Like I used to, but if I want to be a great skier, I'd hang out with those guys. They push me, etc. So why? Because I'd start to adopt their behaviors because proximity is power and I'd just simply be around them. Well, if you're not around a bunch of millionaires, you at least can actually be around their behaviors. You can have awareness of it and you just begin to align to that and your income goes up. Make sense, guys? Okay. So, all right. Number 2, they have a high level of competitiveness and desire to win. They developed world-class skills, what Jeff and I were talking about. They maintain unwavering standards, i.e. they're highly disciplined. This is really interesting, and you guys are going to notice this. You may think that they have a whole bunch of lead sources, but really what they are is they're highly strategic in about 3 to 4 key lead sources. Does that make sense, guys? They're not trying to do everything. What their goal is to get really good at 3 or 4, right? Make the business anti-fragile, but go deeper on those rather than going wide. They track and monitor, they execute quickly. That's a big one. We'll talk about that. They have a plan and they follow it daily, and they only associate with, what does it say for number 8? Winners, believers, and bad freaking asses. Turn to your partner that you're sitting next to if you're in the room, and if you're not, you're sitting by yourself, point at yourself and say this and go, baby, I am that badass. On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baby, I am that badass. All right. So let's unpack this really quick, guys. All right. I'm going to take you through some conversations that I wish someone had actually had with me when I was getting into the business, when I was working through the business, because many of you don't know this, but I had a very successful real estate team that was based in Salt Lake City. We sold about 130 to 140 transactions a year in the early 2011 and 12, back when that was like a lot of business. That's still a lot of business, but there's a lot of mega teams. Now, we weren't a mega team. We had about 8 different agents that were 6 to 8 agents that were on the team. We had an ISA department, and we figured something out. And we said, "Gosh, we should do this in other markets." We had Boomtown, right? This back when Boomtown first came out, and we were user number 34 of Boomtown. And so we expanded our team and we created almost like a Zillow Flex, Todd, program before Zillow Flex was around, where we would pull down Boomtown in different marketplaces. and we would create leads. Our ISAs would set appointments. So we had a team or affiliation in Silicon Valley. We had an affiliation down in San Diego and Orange County. And combined, we did over 200 transactions from all of those places, right? So, and made really good money. And my ex-wife, my wife at the time, was a loan officer. So she was getting all the loans, right? So we were like having a really, really, really good time. But see, why I bring that up is because I've been in your shoes. I know what you're going through. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a competitive mofo. How many of you guys are somewhat competitive? Raise your hand, say aye. How many of you guys like to win? Do you like winning? Yes or no? Fill in the blank for me. Winning is blank, and I want you to write it down. Winning is blank, and I want you to write it down. What is winning to you? By the way, if you have not read the book Winning by Tim Grover, one of the best books that's out there. He was the coach for Michael Jordan, coach for Kobe Bryant, right? Coach for Dwayne Wade. What is winning, guys? Unmute yourself and just tell me what'd you fill in the blank with? Winning is?
Non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable, Durango. I love it. Good. What else is winning?
It's still muted.
This would be the part you guys talk to me.
Yeah.
Power.
Okay. Here's what winning is for me. You guys ready? Winning is everything. I love to win, right? And I love to win not because I like now I'm like, if I play Monopoly, my kids hate playing Monopoly with me because I 100% go for Park Place and Boardwalk. And when I pull those down, I put all my money towards putting in a Ritz-Carlton and a freaking St. Regis on both of those. And when they hit it, I talk a lot of shit. I'm like, welcome, I am the concierge. Before you come in, can you please pay me all of your money, right? So it's just bread. And what I notice, guys, is people that break that 7 figures, they're competitive, number one, with themselves. They're competitive with number 2 with other people as well, too. Does that make sense? But it's always you versus you. Now, here's what I want you guys to look at. There's 3 things. There's this guy that stays on my desk every single day. Does anyone know who this dude is?
Let's see, is that?
He doesn't look like this anymore. Now he looks like the Emperor in The Empire Strikes Back. This is Mike Ferry, right? So, okay. This was one of my primary mentors for years, my definitive years. When I went, does anyone know that name, Mike Ferry? I know you know the name Tom Ferry, right? But do you know the name Mike Ferry? Like he's Tom's dad. He is the godfather of real estate training. Now he's old school, etc. But I learned a lot of great information from him. That's why he stays on my desk looking at me every single day, because I'm committed to making sure that I maintain the lessons that I learned. When I started working with him years ago, he said, you know, Bill, everyone talks about the why. He goes, the why is a bunch of BS. He goes, the most important questions you need to ask yourself is this: what do I want? What do I want? What about it is an absolute must? And what are you willing to sacrifice? What do you want? What about it is an absolute must? And what are you willing to sacrifice? What do I want for 2024? Why is that an absolute must? Not what typically when people think of why, Todd, it's Jeff, this like warm, fuzzy, because I want the new car and I want to go on this vacation and I want this. Is that good? Yeah, you want to have a component of that, right, as you're planning. But why is it that pleasure-driven why does not typically work for human beings? And I've seen it fall on its face a shit ton, my friends, right? And why is it that pleasure-driven why doesn't necessarily work at the level that we want it to?
Pain's a better motivator.
Pain is a definitively genetically predisposed motivator for us. We will work much harder to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure. How many of you guys have ever made a commitment to lose some weight? Raise your hand, say aye. To get sexier, to feel good, whatever, right? Okay, right? Do me a favor, turn to your partner and go, you're smoking hot right now, baby. Good job, right? You're smoking hot right now, baby. Good job, all right? So here's the deal. I used to take a picture of Calvin Klein model bodies, cut their head off, and put up my head on it and look at it every single day. And I kept getting fatter. No matter how much I looked at that picture of me with the Calvin Klein body, the shit didn't work. What did work is one day when I got my clothes back, I was getting ready to go lead a seminar. I put my clothes on and I literally was like, I think the cleaners shrank my clothes. That pain of recognizing I don't have the choice anymore. Can only wear these 2 suits versus the 9 suits I have because I wasn't doing my food program, eating, working out. The picture of me about a year and a half ago on stage in Las Vegas in a white shirt, right? I'm not sure how many of you guys saw it over on my social media. That was like a pain moment. That was so horrible. I looked like a white sausage encasing. It was miserable. And my social media team kept putting that picture up there and I saw it every day. And that pain made me go, shit, man, I don't want to look like that. See, so when I looked at it and I said, why do I want to lose weight? What about as an absolute must? It wasn't the pleasure of looking good, even though I did have this thing called Operation Look Good Naked. That was my like tagline for it, right? What got me motivated was when I looked at it and I said, Pipes, you're full of shit. You're going to stand up on stage and talk discipline and you're fat, right? Okay. You are out of integrity. And that's a big deal for me. That pain, it was like, oh shit, let's go. Pain will motivate you more than pleasure. Have a little bit of pleasure. I had Operation Look Good Naked. I wanted to take my shirt off. I wanted my girlfriend to go, holy shit, you look fantastic. I got that, but what motivated me was that picture. You've got to look at what about your goal is an absolute must. What is the pain that you associate with not getting it? Does that make sense, guys? While you sprinkle on a little bit of the pleasure that you get when you do hit it. You do that and you're using the alternating forces of pleasure and pain, which is what marketing companies use all the time on you. Do you guys get that? They sprinkle in the pain, then they give you a little bit of pleasure. They lay on the Rolaids. Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts, whatever. Oh, here's your relief. American Express. Hey, oh my gosh, we lost our luggage. Oh man, that's horrible. Don't worry, we got the American Express card. Let's go buy new luggage and new clothes, right? Marketing companies do that for you all of the time. So this is one of the things as you have your goal that you need to look at is what do I want? How is it an absolute must? And then the big one is what sacrifice are you willing to make? That's a big one. Because will there be sacrifices as you're going towards a higher number of income, guys? And the answer is yes. Hey, Todd, I missed football tournaments this summer for my son. It sort of sucked, Rachel. You know what I mean? But I had known that I was launching a company. Because I was launching a company, it was going to take me being away a little bit more. And I sat down with my kids and I had that conversation. See, the important thing was when that finally came around, listen carefully to what I'm going to share with you guys, okay? When that moment finally came around where I had to miss one of my son's football tournaments, now he's a senior. I only have so much left, right? This was this summer, right? I said, hey, Liam, I'm really sorry I'm not going to be there. I hope you understand. He goes, Dad, watch this. He goes, we had this conversation. You're starting a business. I realize you're going to have to sacrifice just like you said. It's okay. He goes, go crush it and I'll crush it on the field. We'll crush it together. See, if I had not had that conversation with him and had with myself recognizing what I was going to need to sacrifice, I would have felt guilty and that guilt would have disempowered me and that disempowerment would have had an impact on my results and my income. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. No, I'm not saying you're going to have to sacrifice a bunch, but there is going to be some that you need to, right? Because this is what you got to become on your goal for 2024. Whatever you wrote down, if it's 150, if it's 200, 250, 300, 500, a million, obsessed, baby. See, Todd, the greats, Rachel, they think about their goal when they go to sleep. Guess what they dream about at night? The goal that they've set. Guess what the first thing is that they recognize and start thinking about when they wake up? The goal, right? What do they talk about to everyone? The goal, right? Why? Because they are obsessed. And I love what Schwarzenegger says. This is his quote. He says, obsessed is only, Andrea, a word that lazy people use to describe the dedicated. Isn't that awesome? That's up on my wall. I look at that mic every single day. If I'm not having someone, Casey, telling me I'm obsessed at least one time a week, I know I'm not pushing hard enough, right? Because I want that to be my red badge of courage. Now, with all that being said, before we get into some skills and stuff, I think this next year is going to require you to have a startup mentality. Oh, damn, here we go. This is where I'm going to lose some of you. This is what I wish someone had told me at the beginning of my real estate career when I was in my 20s, right? Does anyone know who this picture is? Who those two dudes are? Yeah, hey, how many of you guys have a Apple product? An iOS driven device? That's Steve Jobs and Wozniak right there. You can thank those two they're in their garage right there building Lisa, which was the first computer that they ever brought to market, right? Okay. And here's what they said. They said, listen, if you're going to be a startup, this is what you've got. This is what you got to be prepared for. And by the way, we're a startup. We're a business. We're getting shit going. You're in an incubator called Coldwell Banker, man, right? But you're still a startup business. So here's what they said. You got to adopt the startup mentality. If you want to have like the Apple-esque life, 60 to 100 hours worked. Doesn't have to be forever, just for a short period of time. You're going to be misunderstood. You guys get that? People are not going to understand your level of commitment, CB, okay? Casey, they're going to like doubt you. You're going to be judged. This is where people are like, wow, this is motivating. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to give up a little bit of your work-life balance. Wait a second, coach. This is a planning session. We're supposed to be talking balance. You know what? If you're going for a big goal, you're going to actually have to live out of balance for a little bit. It's more counterbalance. Does that make sense, guys? Where you commit and then you take a vacation. Right now, I'm out of balance, right? I'm pushing hard, right? But my counterbalance is this. For my son's senior year, graduation, we're taking a 140-foot yacht through the Mediterranean for 10 days. Is that a good counterbalance moment? The answer is yes. My freaking daughter, Todd, I could have punched her in the throat because I said, we're going to do this. It's going to be amazing. She goes, but Dad, I want to go on a cruise boat instead. I'm like, shithead, we are going to have our own boat, right? So, but look, that's an opportunity to counterbalance. And what you're showing your kids, if you have them, is how to be committed, how to work hard, how to sacrifice for what you want, and how those sacrifices pay off. Does that make sense, guys? And here's the key, my friends. You'll never feel more alive than this year, 2 years, or 3 years that you're going for the big goal, I promise you. You'll look back on it, it'll be the best years of your life because you're going for the big, hairy, audacious dragon that you're looking to slay. Todd, think about some of the best times that you've experienced in your life. Were they the unicorns and rainbows, pooping Skittles, or was it like the grind and the grit and like when you guys were getting this up and running?
Yeah, man, dude, it's the joys on the backside, right? You go through it, you get through it, you do the hard work, knowing on the backside that you were willing to make the sacrifices. And my wife is on this call, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Better than most. It's the hard work. It's the dark moments. The darkness that you get through is what brings you the light at dawn. And yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, it's the steel sharpens steel. You know what I mean, guys? Like, honest to goodness. And you will feel so alive. And you know what? It gives you the swagger. It gives you the confidence. So it's just all that mentality. That's why developing that competitiveness, that desire to win is so critical. Now, I spent a lot of time on this. I'm going to go faster on some of the other ones. My gosh, man, our time is wrong. I got an hour and a half, T. Is that, Todd? Is that how much? Do I have an hour and a half? Like, what are we good for?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, here's the second piece, okay? Right, just want to remind you, you're next. There's the crew, you're next. Oh, yes. Let's talk skills, baby. Let's talk some skills right now, okay? Trait number one was developing that insane mindset to win. Be competitive with yourself, be competitive with your goal, be competitive with other people. But trait number two is you got to back that competitiveness up with skills. Now, skills are different than talent. Do you guys realize that? There are what's the difference between skills and talent?
Your earned skills.
Your earned skills. I love it. I'm actually going to write that down. I've never heard someone say that. You earn skills. You are born with talent. Does that make sense? And I can point out to Casey so many soccer players that my son played with in his youth that at like 7, 8, 9 had a lot of talent, but they didn't have the discipline to develop the skills. And guess what happened to them? They got left behind, right? So skills are something that you work on. And what is the number one skill? Well, the number one skill in today's market is this right now, guys. Please write down the skill I have to develop is the skill of being able to control the narrative. to be able to control the narrative. What does that mean exactly? What is controlling the narrative? By the way, Amy, this is the shit I teach like over and over and over again, is being able to shift the narrative to move people forward. So what is a narrative, guys? What do you think that is? What does that mean?
Public perception.
Okay, it's the perception that your consumer has about the existing market. The perception that your consumer, your buyer or seller has about the existing market. And watch this. There it is. There is the narrative that's being peddled right now. This is less than 30 days old, my friends. Okay? With this market rebounding, getting better, when will the housing market crash? The housing market has gone from bad to worse. More bad news on the state of the housing market. Oh, I love this one, guys. Realtor boom ends as housing market slumps. Housing bubble or not, the real estate market is in trouble. I love this one too. Here we go. It's a brutal reckoning for real estate agents today, right? Okay. Does this impact our clients' actions? And the answer is definitively yes. Okay. Because when people don't have certainty and they have fear, what do? If someone is fearful, if they lack certainty, what action do they take?
Nothing.
Nothing. Fight, flight, or freeze. There's a small group that dig in and say, I see this, but I'm going to fight back on the market. There's a group that's flight, which are the buyers that got out of the market. And there's the freeze that say, we're not going to do anything until we see something happen. And here's the most important thing that you got to get about all this is this, that when two people meet, the one that has the most certainty will have the greater influence over the other person. If you get nothing else out of today and you get that one thing, it will fundamentally change your business. See, Rachel, I am certain that next year is going to be one of the best years that we've seen in real estate from an activity and price standpoint. Geez, guys, Zillow has updated their forecast, love them, hate them, whatever, from about a 2% increase in home prices in 2024 to a 6 to 7% increase. They just released that, right? See, I'm certain, because I'm certain I can have greater influence on other individuals. Now, here's the problem that I really, Amy, believe, right, Michael, or Nick, that has taken place. Today's consumer is doing more research than their agents. Listen to what I just said. The normal buyer or seller is spending more time online studying, educating themselves, figuring out what's going on. Now, granted, they're going to the wrong sources. They're getting the wrong narrative, but they're spending more time. So they're more certain about their objection than the agent is certain about moving them forward. And when two people meet, the one that has the most certainty has the greater influence. Therefore, the consumer is having more influence over the agent than the agent having over the consumer. Can you guys see that in general? Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. So how do we solve that? Well, first of all, recognize as of today or this week, 1 in 4 buyers and sellers still believe prices are going to depreciate. Is that crazy? Like, Todd, for me, I just go, really? What are you looking at? But you got 25% of the population believes that prices are going to come down. If they think prices are going to come down, well, no wonder it is that they're saying that they're going to wait. Okay. But see, here's what they don't know. If we use data over drama, what do we see here? Now, granted, this just goes to July. Why does it go to July? Because they haven't released the August numbers yet. They'll get released here really soon. And there's the lag period. What do you notice about this? This is not a projection. And by the way, Todd, I'll make sure that you guys all get these slides. Does that sound good? Do you guys want these slides? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. What does anyone notice about this? This is what, not what they think is going to happen. This is what happened this year. What occurred this year? Did prices go backwards? No. They went what? Every single month, there was an increase, right? And you'll see here when rates were a little bit higher, May, June, and July, we saw an increase, but it's just a tinier increase. We didn't go backwards on month-over-month appreciation. We went forward on month-over-month appreciation. And now with interest rates coming down, we'll see that number increase even more. It's a better viewpoint, vantage point for you to be able to see it. You can see last year, though, guys, right, watch. October, November, December last year. How many of you guys remember those months? Holy shit, man. We got punched in the face on those months. But this year, everything has gone up. The reason that it feels so low though, my friends, remember data over drama. This is a dated slide. We are now below 4 million annualized sales. We're at like 3.9 million sales. So this market feels constricted. Okay. I want you to understand this, right? This just got adjusted from 2.17 all the way up to about 6% movement, right? And okay. Do you guys want to have a crystal ball on interest rates? How many of you guys would like to have something that nobody else is freaking talking about that gives you like a high AS, which is your authority score with clients? Raise your hand, say aye.
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 Okay, cool. Has anyone ever heard of interest rate swaps? I wouldn't expect you to. So just write down interest rate swaps. Interest rate swaps. Has anyone ever heard of a investment vehicle that is called a futures contract or an options contract in stocks or commodities? Anyone ever heard of options? Yes. Okay. Someone unpack for us what options are. What do options do? Just bear with me, guys. I know I'm going technical on you. Here's what an option is. If I think Apple is going to go up in price, I can take out an option in the future that says, I believe Apple's going to go up to $300, right? I think it's going to do that by this date. It's called like if I said, I think by February, Apple's going up to 300. I don't know what Apple's at right now. I'd say I'm going to take out a Apple 300 call that it's going to go up. Basically, investors bet on futures markets to speculate what's going to happen. Does that make sense? Now, most retail investors are going to be involved in options, or if they're going to do futures investments. Where the smart money is, Wharton Business School, Yale, where all of these graduates that are handling billions of dollars in terms of pension funds, hedge funds, they actually put their money into what are called interest rate swaps. What an interest rate swap, stay with me guys, please. What an interest rate swap does is it's where all the smart money is projecting what the Fed is going to do in their next upcoming meetings. Did you guys hear what I just said? They are speculating at a very high level about what the Fed will be doing. Hold on one second. I'm going to stop this slideshow, pause it. Okay. And I'm going to pull something up for you guys. Todd, I'll send this over to you as a link. Okay. Right. But guys, there's a site called cmegroup.com. And they keep track of this. Share screen. All right. Can you guys all see this? The next Fed meeting is on December the 13th. Look here. Don't worry about this chart because as we get further out, it gets a little problematic. Just look up here under probabilities. No change means the Fed does not they keep rates where they are. Hike means they increase it, and an ease means that they cut it. What do you notice about what's projected where all the money is being put for betting on what the Fed does on December the 13th? What's going to happen here? What do you see, guys? I've got it highlighted. What is it? What's the no change possibility?
99.7%.
Guys, there's a 99, like the smart money, billions of dollars is betting on the fact that 99.7% chance Fed doesn't touch rates. Is that good news? Let's go, baby. Yes. Now they meet again in January. If you feel comfortable explaining this, could you imagine bringing this up in front of a buyer that says, hey, you know what? Like you just became like not a realtor, you became a financial advisor to a certain degree at this point, right? Now look at this. In January, look up here at these numbers. What's the chance of a hike? Basically non-existent. What's the chance of a change? 95.6. What's the chance that they cut rates? 4.1. So we're beginning to see movement. We get to March. February, the Fed doesn't meet. Aha. What do you see here? Non-existent chance of an increase. Stay with me, Metro. Come on, don't check out on me. No change is a 65%, 34.7% chance of an ease. Okay. Now, last but not least, let's go to May. What do you notice about May, guys? What's the chance of an interest rate cut? The ease is a cut. Nick, 67% chance that come May, the Fed's actually hitting rates, cutting rates. Okay. That's when this market gets insanely busy. And I could just go forward to June. Watch this, guys. Now you see June is an 86% chance of an interest rate cut. July is a 94% chance of an interest rate cut. You guys see this? Why am I sharing this with you guys? Because what I want you to recognize is there is a small window of opportunity for buyers to get into this market, to get to be able to actually get a home before they're going to experience a insane level of competition. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Because if we get 2 cuts back to back, right, forget about it, man. Like, it's game over. So you've got to have an ability through data to be able to control that narrative with your clients. Hold on one second. Let me pull this back up. And let me share screen. Share screen. And we'll go back to this. And there you guys got full screen now at this point. Can you see it? Yes. Nope. New share. How about that? Yep. Now look, these were the old, look at this right here, guys. These are the old numbers and you can see how it's changed positively, you know, from what I just showed you. So here's our process, guys. The skill. Let's get into skill. The process that you need to get how to control the narrative. This is, okay, guys, this right here is the meat. This is it. Okay. The meat is going to have some potatoes that go with it, which is going to be the scripts and dialogues. But the meat is this. Here's how you control the narrative. You have to study your local market stats every Monday. Every Monday, you need to be doing a total market overview to look at how many listings came on the market. How does that compare to 90 days ago, 6 months ago? How many sales took place? How many new listings came to the market? You're basically diving in to how did the market perform over the course of the last 7 days. You've got to be able to talk intelligently, Shawnee, so that when someone says, how's the market? You can say, well, it's been pretty good this last week. We actually saw that we have an increase in terms of the total number of sales for our market. Shawnee, where are you located? Which marketplace are you in?
I'm in Grand Junction.
Grand Junction, love it. Okay. So here in Grand Junction, we saw an increase. Last week, we had 20 homes that sold. This week, we're already at 32. It's a big increase that we've seen. The market is moving in the right direction, and you've got to have that conversation. Does that make sense, guys? The only way you get that is by going into the MLS, digging into the numbers, right? Or, hey, Todd, what a lot of our brokers, owners, and leaders do is they actually print that out, or they codify that, and then they send it out to the entire team on Mondays, right? That would be something that'd be fantastic. If we did that for, I'm nominating, right? If we did that for you, would you guys look at it and use it? Yes or no?
Yes.
2 of you, that's awesome. So I guess we're not going to actually do that for you guys. So we want to make you guys have to work a lot harder to find it. No, okay. Here's number 2. Study national real estate trends monthly. Okay. Every single day, guys, I have the people that I coach. They are on the hook. They are on the line with me. That not on the line, but they're on the line, meaning they're responsible for taking 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and going to write down these sources. KCM, which is Keeping Current Matters. I'm still a big fan of KCM, okay? However, there's 2 other resources I like a lot better now. One is called Altos Research, ALTOS Research. Mike Simonson is freaking brilliant. The dude is insanely intelligent. I love him to death. He's one of my go-to conversation individuals. So Altos unpacks data. You don't even need to sign up for it. All you need to do is go to YouTube, my friends. Go to YouTube, type in Altos, subscribe to their station, and he's pumping out typically 3 or 4 videos a week to keep you abreast. The other one is Housing Wire. Love Housing Wire. Logan Mohtashami, who is the other economist, that's one of my go-tos. If you subscribe to Housing Wire Daily, their podcast, then you'll get that information from Mike. You'll from Logan. You'll get the information from Mike. You'll get the information from Harney, right? Pay attention to what Lawrence Yoon is saying as well too from NAR. But see, every day you've got to educate yourself 10 to 15 minutes to be able to have intelligent conversations. When you have that knowledge, it gives you confidence. When you don't, it gives you fear. Know everything there is to know about the communities you serve, have your dialogues internalized, learn to use the downswing, which is, go down with your voice when you're actually talking, and use your body language to convey confidence. What I found is this. How many of you guys have noticed this? When you're absolutely sure about something, does it change your tonality? Yes or no? 100%. When you are positive and confident in a topic, does your body language change? Your shoulders go back, you maintain more eye contact. So really the driving point, listen, all the body language hacks that I've taught you guys at a sales edge or a sales mastery or a sales power, whatever varying degree of the sales training I do, are hacks to overcome a lack of confidence. If you have educated yourself, you have that confidence, and your body language and tone will align with it because you've built your knowledge. So this is how you control the narrative. And then obviously, guys, we go scripts. See, I'd be calling everyone right now having this conversation. Hey, did you see or hear about what the Federal Reserve did? Okay. Or if you're in Canada, what Canada took. I wanted to reach out and see what questions you may have. Are you still planning to move to blank by blank because of blank? Hey, listen, over the course of the next couple of weeks, you're probably going to see many headlines about the housing market. Please feel comfortable to reach out to me if you should have any questions or want to discuss anything that you may have read or heard in the media. I'm going to call every lead I have, my friends, and have this conversation with them to see where they are and touch base with them. Now, on top of that, here it is. All right. This is my favorite close of all of 2023, my friends. Okay. I love this. All right. I'm actually going to stop this. We'll keep this up. So someone says, which we know is going to happen. How many of you guys can foresee that as rates are dropping, people are going to say, oh, they're dropping now. I want to wait till rates actually come down a little bit further. How many of you guys have heard that at least one time this year? Todd, let's role play really quick. Okay. Will you be my role play partner?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Say, hey Pipes, we just want to wait a little bit longer and have rates come down.
Hey man, we'd just want to hold off for a little bit and wait for the rates to get down.
Dude, I can totally appreciate the fact that you want to wait until rates come down. Like, what's the percentage point that you're thinking about that you want to see them at?
I don't know. I'd love to see them in the 5s.
In the 5s. So I understand. I think I would love to see them in the 5s as well too. Can I share with you though how the increase in rates where they are being a little bit higher still right now is actually playing into your advantage, in your favor?
Sure.
Okay. Do you know who Warren Buffett is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Okay. What do you know about Warren Buffett?
He's the richest guy I know.
He's the richest. Yeah. Do you know how much he's worth, man?
Billions.
$117 billion, right? He's used to be the richest person on the planet. Now he's dropped down a little bit. Do you know how he became so successful and so wealthy?
Buying right.
That's exactly correct. It was a strategy that he learned from his mentor, Charlie Munger, right? Who was also very wealthy, passed down to him, that said, when everyone else is selling, you should be buying. And when everyone else is buying, you should be selling. So let me ask you something. I'm curious, with rates still being in the 7 percentage points, what impact do you believe that this has had on the number of buyers that are actively out looking at homes?
Yeah, it's shrunk the number of buyers.
That's exactly correct, right? Some buyers have stopped their search because the increase made it financially impossible for them to even buy, right? Others didn't feel confident, so they got nervous, and they're going to wait until they do feel comfortable to move forward. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So, Todd, you're realizing right now, though, that with fewer buyers, you have less competition. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because they're out of the market, because rates are where they are, right? Of course it does. So also with the rates that increase, like us seeing this over the course of the last couple of months and then beginning to come down, what do you think is going to happen, right? The minute that rates begin to drop below 7%, and we've already seen them drop by 50 basis points. What do you think is going to happen the more that rates continue to come down?
There's going to be more buyers in the market,
More buyers. And what does that mean? More buyers represents what?
more competition.
Cool. And what do you think that'll do to prices?
I think those prices will go up.
So let me get this straight. Right now, you have a bit more negotiating power with sellers. You have more homes to choose from, right? And you have less competition. Did I get that right?
Sounds what it sounds like.
Okay. And so the minute that turns around and we continue to see rates drop, you're going to have less competition, more buyers that are in the market, prices potentially going up. Is that what you want?
No.
Who would? That's exactly why we need, Todd, to get more aggressive in terms of our home search, because as rates continue to drop like they're projected to in 2024, you're going to see that it's actually going to give you less to choose from. Okay. So listen, I got time on Tuesday or Wednesday at 4. What works better for you? Okay. So there it is, guys. What do you think? Okay. All right. So we now have rates coming down. It plays amazingly into our favor. Now, notice how much did I have to actually look at that script, guys? Not that much. Look over, make it, look over, make it. Why is that? Because I came to a realization on this, is that if I want to get paid like a pro athlete, I got to practice like a pro athlete. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. I got to put the time, energy, and effort in. Okay. I have to put it in with my fundamental scripts, my basic scripts, etc. And here's what I would recommend that you guys do. Listen, we are moving into, and we are still in a very skill-based market right now, my friends. By skill-based, I mean, you need to know, not only do you need to have the knowledge, right? You're educated, but you have to turn around and be able to actually present that, to talk effectively about it. Now watch this. This is what I call the 6 R's. This is what I have everyone doing. Read it every single day. Read the script, read the dialogue, read the Warren Buffett close. I've got a couple of other closes for you guys as well too that I'll be sending over to Todd. Write it. I know that's not how we spell right, but it doesn't work if it's a W, right? So read it a couple times a day, write it out 1 time a day, role play it with someone that you trust 10 to 15, 30 minutes a day, record it on your phone, and then listen to it over and over again. Get that Warren Buffett script down, man, so that you can just rattle it off, okay? And then you go out and you use it. You really got to use it. Then you bring it back to your broker, owner, manager, role play partner, report back to what happened, right? To be able to determine what you need to change. You do these 6 R's, and within 30 days, you're masterful at any script. Does that make sense, guys? It takes you 30 days and you're using it, etc. Okay. All right. So let's pause there. I just unloaded a boat ton on you with data, with what you need to be aware of. So I want to pause right now and answer any questions that you guys may have about everything I gave you on the market, what's going to happen, and that close. Questions, comments, concerns, hallucinations? Nope. Okay. So let's go to this last little bit. Now, by the way, what I need all of you doing right now is I need you thinking about, okay, Pipes is hitting us with a lot of stuff. What is the one thing I'm going to do leaving this call? Does that make sense, guys? Like, this is not like try to do all of this. It's what is the one thing that I need to do. Now, I'm going to give you one last thing here. I'm not able to go through all the traits, right? But I can go through this last one with you. Maintain unwavering standards. Maintain unwavering standards. And for me, there are 3 standards, guys. 3 key standards. Number 1, my standard of time. Number 1 is my standard of time. Number 2 is my standard of mind, that I have the right mindset. Number 3 is my standard of energy that I maintain. Now notice, I just stood up. Does anyone know why I just stood up? I stood up because for the last hour and some change, right, we have been digging deep, and we needed to have a ton of energy that was taking place as we go into this. How can I talk about energy if I don't have it? So let's start with the standard of time. This right here is a big aha that I want you to have. Write down, I am being paid exactly what I deserve based upon my current choices I make in my life. I'm being paid exactly what I deserve based upon the choices that you make and the thoughts that you have. You want to freaking make more money, make more intelligent and higher net worth choices. Does that make sense, guys? In what you're going to do with your time. Think a little bit differently. Now, do all of you have a goal for 2024? Yes or no? Have all of you guys written down what your income goal is for 2024? Yes? Come back to me. Like, I need to see heads nodding. Yep. You got it. I want you to write down that goal. You're going to take out your phone. We're going to do an exercise. So write down what your income goal is for 2024. Divide that by 2000, the number 2080, 2080. 2080. Casey, do you know what that 2080, guys, represents? Anyone?
The number of hours in 50 full weeks of work.
You got it, baby. The number of hours that you have to work in 50 weeks. There it is. Okay, giving a couple weeks off, right? That number that you come up with that. Now, by the way, I need you to make sure, look at your partner's paper, make sure they did the damn exercise. If they didn't do the damn exercise, I want you to punch them in the arm right now. Just whammo, right? If they did it, give them a high five, right? Okay. Does everyone have a number? Casey, hold up yours. What's your number? I want to see your guys' numbers. Make sure that all of you guys that are virtual out there in the virtual world did it. In the chat, put what your number is. What is your hourly? That represents what you get paid per hour when you hit your goal. Don't be embarrassed about it. Be excited about it. Put that number in the chat. I want to see what's coming in there. Okay. Now, here's the key thing. This is what I say to my million people that are going for $1 million. I say, you're worth $480 per hour. Now, I have some explicatives that actually go in there that I didn't put in there. I'm like, start acting like it, damn it, right? So here is the challenge that you guys have. You're gonna love this. You guys don't have a time management problem. You have a choice management problem, my friends. You do not have a time management problem. You have a choice management. You are making decisions to do certain things that do not align with your per hour dollarly amount. Does that make sense, my friends? Yes or no? So, hey, Casey, what's your number that you put down? Do you want to share it with us?
No.
Well, I'm not actually an agent, but I will.
That is so perfect. I always think that
$480 an hour.
you're like, hell, I'll take that, right? Okay, who is it? Casey, thank you very much for playing. Who is do we have an agent? Who, like, one of the agents, raise your hand. Agent, raise your hand. Agent, raise your hand. Twin Falls, someone tell me.
Well, we're muted.
I am muted.
What's
What's your dollarly hour amount?
145.
145. Awesome. Okay, now watch this. Who said that?
Michaela.
Michaela. Thank you, Michaela. Michaela, if I followed your butt around for a full week, would I find shit that you're doing that's not at $145 an hour?
Probably.
Definitely, right? Okay. Okay. And that's the game that you play, guys. Look, I want to give you a tool that you can use immediately right now, Metro. Okay. And it's this. You come up with that number, and as you're getting ready to say yes to an activity, guess what you ask yourself? Guess what Michaela's filter is? Her filter is this. Is what I'm about to do worth $145 an hour? And if it's not, she has to make a decision. Okay, I may have to do that right now, but in the future, who can I get to do it? Is this absolutely necessary for me to do, right? If I can't turn it over to someone, who do I need to train to be able to do this? Is there someone at the organization, the brokerage, that can do this for me? You start making decisions on scalability and leverage, right? You start making decisions that are $145 decisions. See, Michaela, because if you're not, what is 145 times? Let me look at this. Times 2080. Oh, hell yes, sister. What is that? 300,000? Is that the number for next year?
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Okay. So, Michaela, if you're not earning 300 right now, it's because you're making decisions that are actually not aligned with the $145 per hour. And every time you do that, it costs you money. That's how I want you to look at your time, my friends. Does that make sense? I don't want you to look at it from the standpoint of a schedule. I want you to look at it from the standpoint of a decision that you are making. And so you begin to filter through that. Now, by the way, that's how I make decisions that if something's not worth $3,000 an hour, I find someone else on my team to do it. Does that make sense, guys? That's the level that I'm playing at. I'm like, shit, okay. Now that took me some time. It took my director of operations beating the shit out of me, Todd, saying, stop doing stuff that doesn't align with this. Now watch, does this align with it? 100%. Pouring into you guys, 100%. Having the relationship with Todd, 100%. Giving back, 100%. This is well worth more than that for me. So I was able to make this decision and say, let's go. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Right now, here's the gold standard. Now that's the standard. I make decisions based upon the standard of my income. And if I can align with $145 actions and say yes to more of that and no to more of it that doesn't, I'm going to earn $300,000 a year. Bingo. Let's go. Number two is this. This is the gold standard for me, guys. Look at me. You guys, you have to hunt every single damn day, my friends. Especially right now. Now, hey, Todd, my Monday Mayhem is starting on November the 27th. Just that you guys know, for those of you that don't know what Monday Mayhem is, it is 4 weeks of Monday, every Monday, a full day of prospecting, right? I did it last year because we were on our ear as a market. And I said, I want to create something for the agents that I coach and the agents out in our ecosystem to be able to actually have an excuse to prospect their faces off. Well, we're running that. If you want to look at it, go to Monday Mayhem, go to my Facebook, go to wherever you can see me outline exactly what it is. I invite you to be involved. There's no cost in it, just your commitment to be able to actually prospect. But see, the best businesses, my friends, the best businesses, they are prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Listen to what I just said to you guys, okay? The best businesses, everyone just say this for me on the count of 3 with a big freaking smile on your face, pointing at yourself as we wind down here. Everyone point at yourself and go, Pipes, I love to prospect, so I do it every single day. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I love to prospect.
I do it every day.
Look at Metro. Whoever's in the sweater, she's like, I love the prospects. You got to get the body language going with it, my friends. Okay. So listen, this is what this market is going to demand from you right here, right now. This is a non-negotiable. If you want to actually earn 300, 400, 500,000, 1 hour a day of prospecting is survival. Does that make sense, guys? Like that is a survival based business. Take it from me, someone that has actually conducted 112,000 coaching calls, works with some of the best agents in North America and their teams. If you're going to do an hour, you're going to survive this market. But coach, you said the market's getting better. Yep, it sure is. And it's going to get tighter. Does that make sense? Which means that you're going to have to prospect to have more buyers because you're going to write up more offers because there's going to be more competition. So it doesn't change, right? The amount of work that we need to do. In fact, right now, I'm punching my agents to actually make more calls in the next 30 to 40 days than they have leading up to this moment. See, 2 hours a day, your business will grow. 3 hours a day, breakthrough. I mean this with all respect to you guys, love, appreciation, and gratitude. I guarantee you there's probably no one on this call that has actually done an hour a day for 90 days and not missed a day. When I say 90 days, I don't mean Saturday and Sunday. I mean Monday through Friday, right? And you did it for a full 90 days. Because if you did an hour a day for 90 days, okay, if you did 2 hours a day, maybe some of you have done 1, probably not 2, definitely not 3. But if you did 3 hours a day for 90 days, 5 days a week, do you realize your business would freaking be unrecognizable? You would have so many leads. You would go into this, you would load the cannon with so much future business that you would be like, I have way too much business. I got to give some of this away. I promise you. Okay. But see, most people live in a world, and people always ask me, look, I love TF. I love Tom. I think he's a great guy. Where we fundamentally butt sometimes is, I think this. The best businesses are prospecting based, marketing enhanced. There's other trainers out there that will teach you, you lead with marketing and you support it with prospecting. Not me. You have to have that discipline, that standard that you stick to. So the second standard that I want you guys to have is this. I want you to make a commitment. Is going to be 1, is going to be 2, or is going to be 3 hours. And from now until the end of the year, you have right now, if I look at this on the days that you have left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. You've got about 20 work days. Oh my gosh, guys, is that it? We got about 6 weeks times 5 is 30. Let's back out 5 days for the holidays. You got 25 prospecting days left. Don't miss one of them. Okay. Like, this is a brilliant time, my friends. Agents, stop working right now. And this year is going to be even more intense because agents got their teeth kicked in. And so because it was tough, a lot of them are licking their wounds in between the Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Okay. Versus aggressively attacking. So you've got, again, a perfect storm to aggressively go after and pick up market share, right? Now, the last little bit is this, and we're going to wind down here. I think the last standard that you need to have is your energy. I have a gentleman by the name of Pavan Argawal he owns a company called SunWest Mortgage. Many of you may have heard of SunWest Mortgage. Pavan is an angel investor in our company in G3, right? The dude is a billionaire. I was talking to him. I said, Pavan, man, as you were growing SunWest, like, did you ever make mistakes? And what did you, he goes, oh man, we made a lot of mistakes. And I said, well, what did you learn from it? This is huge. Listen to what I'm about to tell you guys. It's coming from the mouth of someone that is a billionaire, 10 figures. Okay. I said, what did you learn? He said, it's really simple, Bill. He said, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you made? And typically, Todd, you'll love this. The mistakes that were made were typically getting in business with the wrong person, partnering with the wrong person, or making a decision that hurt the business in a long term, making some type of move that hurt the business in the long term. And when I was talking to him, please listen, guys. When I was talking to him, I said, again, he asked me, he said, why did you make that decision? I go, well, because I didn't do my research, I didn't do whatever. And he goes, wrong. You made that decision, you made that mistake. And here's what I want you to write down. Because you lacked the energy to follow your process that you normally would to be able to make an intelligent decision. Does that make sense, guys? See, think about some of the biggest mistakes that you've made, and it, chances are, came on the heels of cutting corners, not following like your normal, like what you do to vet stuff out. And why was that? It was because you lacked energy. Now, how do you have better energy? You eat better, you sleep better, etc. But here's my process, right? In these last 2 minutes, I'm going to give this to you. Inspiration, energy, at its core has the root inspiro, which means to breathe life into. Does that make sense, guys? See, people that are inspired, they don't just wake up that way. They have a process and a system to be able to get there, right? So inspiro means to breathe life into. And here is the process. I'm going to just take you guys through. Hold on. Let's go. Wait a minute. Did it disappear? We will wind down on this. The process is very simple, guys. It is called and Todd, you remember this from the TF days. I call it the 1800 reset or the 6x10. The 1800 reset or the 6x10. And what you're going to do is this. It's 6 commitments per day. I'll stop the screen share. 6 commitments per day. Number 1, 10 minutes of exercise. That's all that I need from you. 10 minutes of exercise. That's it. Coach, I do more than that. Cool. Do it for 30 days. Don't miss a day. Number 2, second commitment that you're going to make of the 6 is you're going to listen to something for 10 minutes a day that motivates you and inspires you. Ed Milet, Cody Sanchez, any of the fairies, like Tony Robbins. I don't care who it is. Just 10 minutes to get yourself in the right frame of mind. Number 3, you're going to do 10 affirmations a day. See, I always look at this and I go, shit, guys, the first sale that I've got to make in the world is selling me every single day on what it is that I need to do, who it is I need to be, and what actions I need to take. I'm alive, excited, and full of energy. Right now, baby, I'm the voice. I lead, not fall, create, not destroy, believe, not doubt. I'm a force for good, I'm a force for God. I'm a leader. Defy the odds, set a new standard. Step up, step up, step up. I now command my conscious, subconscious mind to go out the power, passion, energy, influence, enthusiasm, humor, charm, joy, love, to do whatever it takes to help every single person on this call realize their God-given right for wealth, abundance, and joy. Yes, yes, yes. Right? That's my shit that I do every single day, right? And you can see that it's just it's bred into me. So that's number 3. Number 4, do 10 minutes of meditation or prayer or whatever. Number 5, write down 10 things that you are grateful for. I guarantee you doing this call for you guys today will be one of my 10 things that I'm grateful for. But I write down 10 things I'm grateful for because it primes my pump and releases dopamine and serotonin. And last but not least, read 10 pages of a book. Right now, I'm going back to me getting some David Goggins in my life. So I've gone back, like this time of the year, I'm like, oh, I want to be as badass as I could possibly be, right? So I'm listening to the Never Finished and reading the Never Finished book by David Goggins. Now, guys, as we wind down here, I just want to leave you with one last thing. Share screen. Can you see this right here? You guys see that? This right here is who this company is. What is that right there? If you're part of this company, this is what you are. What is that, guys? Anyone? Can you see it? That's a freaking stallion. What do stallions do? Stallions run, baby. Someone goes, it's a horse seat. No, this is a stallion. It's different, right? Stallions were made to run. They were made to crush. They were made to race. Okay? What I need you to do is make sure you don't slip into this category for me. Okay? We got to stay away from you guys being around any of the ponies, right? Or if you see people that are running around like ponies, you got to call their shit out. Okay? And most importantly, please stay away from these guys, man. Right? There's plenty of jackasses out in the industry, right? But keep this. That's who this company is. That's who this organization is. That's who you are. That's why you're on this call. I believe every single one of you are positioned to have your best year ever in 2024. I'm grateful for the short amount of time that I got to spend with you. I look forward to an opportunity to do this, hopefully in person one day with you guys. Most importantly, Todd, I am grateful over a decade that you and I have been growing together, learning together. Like, that's the sign of a true friend. Do you grow together? Do you laugh together? Do you move forward together, and do you make money together? So you guys, thank you. This deck with all the rest will be over to you because there's a lot that we didn't cover, right? But more than anything, guys, crush town out to the end of the year. Come out of the gate strong. 2024, best year ever, baby. Thank you, TC.